5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Away with Words, the podcast. It's your girl Bree Stories.
It's Aja Noasia.
It's A Tati.
And we're here with our good friend, GQ the Fool. Yay! Everybody say yay! Oh, wow.
I just wanted to clap.
That's really, it's,
I didn't do it on purpose. Do it again. Ask me to do it again.
We're here with our good friend, GQ the Fool. Yay!
Yay! Oh,
my
see,
God.
it's not meant to be. I'm
know
sorry.
what?
You have to be authentically yourself.
Yeah, you're right.
And
I'm
just
sorry,
do what comes
Brianna.
natural.
It just wasn't. I don't know.
GQ, hopefully you'll go to another show where there's showing more love than what's been shown.
Well, I thought you were
going
going to prompt us again and say everybody say
no,
yay.
it's okay.
She did do that.
It's fine.
Not
No,
the
she wanted
second
it a
time.
second time. It's fine. Anyway, we're very happy to be here. So we have a lot of things going on today. First of all, housekeeping. Want to always give a special thanks to our sponsor at Strong University. Make sure that you stop everything that you're doing, not right now, but after you're done watching this, and go to stronguniversity.online, spin a check, spin a bag, run that shit. And it is almost St. Patrick's Day. By the time you see this, it'll be almost St. Patrick's Day. So in that case, we're getting very drunk, and we're going to hopefully be able to get much more information out of GQ than he intended for us to have.
Yeah.
So let's start with the shot. Everybody, all of you, audience participation, everyone get your shots.
That's what I've been asking for this whole time.
Favorite part of the day.
That tastes awful.
It was not that bad.
I'm drinking Guinness, and I got the wrong one.
Like Guinness Book of World Records? Is
Nope.
the same thing? Oh.
Nope.
I was gonna ask you how that tastes.
I got the one
That
that I
sounds
don't
weird.
usually get.
Looks
It's-
dark.
It's a little creamier than what I'm used to, which is not something that I want out of a beer.
Girl, you like cream.
But you don't know nothing about me.
Fellas.
You don't. Ew. Ew.
Awkward.
Anyway, let's go ahead and do a quick check-in, and then we're gonna hear a little bit more about GQ here. I don't want to start.
Okay, I'll go.
Yeah.
So physically, I feel sweaty.
Nice.
Not boob sweaty like you be having, but
No, what? Like, was
that's what thing.
was any of that called for?
Girl, come on now. Anyway, see now I gotta get to my regular stuff. I was trying to keep it classy and cute, but whatever. I felt sweaty. Emotionally, I'm turned because bitches want to steady try and play me. My attention. My attention is on standing my ground and not letting no bitch come up to me like she fucking crazy.
Wow.
And spiritually, I'm cool. Here's to you, Tati.
Okay. I'm feeling just a little tipsy physically. Not really.
I was about to say, girl.
Not really. But I definitely can because I felt that shot automatically though because my stomach is like, this is my first time eating, drinking, everything. So definitely I feel like it's just working a little faster. But so I'm feeling good, feeling great. Emotionally, I'm feeling good too. I'm in a good space today. This morning was really hectic. I had slight anxiety about not making it here on time. Like I was really freaking out about it, like having bad dreams and everything. But it all worked
Our
out.
producer is a nightmare.
So I'm all good. And my attentions are on the podcast today and on St. Patrick's Day coming up and on our guest.
And what are you feeling spiritually?
Same. I'm cool.
Okay. Physically, I am feeling, I feel awake in my sacral chakra, for those of you who know what that means. And emotionally, I'm feeling joy. I'm feeling joy. No, I'm feeling joy. Oh my God. I was going to question, I'm feeling joy. I'm very excited, actually, emotionally. And my attention is currently on, it's March, and it's about to be springtime, so I'm excited for just like the warmth and everything that comes with the spring. And spiritually, I feel hesitant spiritually. And that's it.
Hesitant.
How are you feeling?
What do I start with?
Physically.
Physically.
Body sensation.
Physically, I feel great.
That works.
I feel nice and almost full with this spread that y'all have.
Oh yeah.
This is nice. Y'all know how to treat a brother.
Oh, thank you.
Um,
Wouldn't be the first time we heard that, huh, lady? Sorry. Did you say not me?
What's next?
Emotionally, how do you feel?
Emotionally, I feel joyous. Is that a word?
Yeah, absolutely.
Joyous? I feel very happy.
Yay.
I'm alive, you know.
For sure. And what is your attention currently on?
Hopefully getting drunk and eating some more food. Definitely. Definitely want to get more drunk and eat some more food.
Yes.
I like to talk, so
Yes.
I'm looking forward to the questions.
You're
that
in the
y'all have.
right place.
I feel like y'all might go a little crazy, but that's
Yeah,
cool. That's cool.
definitely.
I'm with that. I'm with
Definitely.
that.
And how do you feel spiritually?
I kind of used this already, but alive.
Yeah. No, that works.
I feel very alive. Thank you.
Definitely has multi meanings.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, GQ knows why he's here. We are going to give our watchers and listeners what you have been waiting for, which is yet another program of Ask a Nigga. But this Ask a Nigga is a little bit different. It's going to be Ask a Nigga / Ask a Man /
Or a
Ask
brother.
a Brother
Ask a brother.
/ Ask a King, because this is to be determined. By the end of the episode, we will know whether
give you
he's
a
a
name
nigga,
at the
a king, or a brother. So,
Or a man.
Sounds like
or a man.
Sounds like trouble. I'm with that.
Just kidding. We'll see what happens.
I think it's gonna be a black brother.
I love you. I will never try to hurt you.
Cause it's always Black History.
All year.
February
Forget
doesn't-
February.
February doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, all year
to us.
round.
Yeah, Black History
No
Year
February.
forever.
Yeah.
Black History Life for sure. So
Wakanda forever.
I'm about to say, Wakanda forever.
Yay, that makes me happy. So we're gonna get into some outlandish questions, but before we get into the outlandish questions, where we're gonna, dive way too much into your personal life than we should, let's just get into the basics. Tell us a little bit about you.
This is just general.
Yeah, definitely. Who are you? What are you about? What do you want the people to know? What do you want the people to take away from this? Besides how we exploit you later.
I'm not ready for that.
It's okay.
I mean, what I want people to take away from this is to really know who I am outside of the pictures, outside of the music, outside of the family, outside of, deep down inside who I am.
Yes.
So, like I said, I'm a talker, so I got a lot to say.
Definitely. Awesome. And what's up? What's going on in the music scene right now? Anything for us to look out for?
Yeah, actually. I got a project I'm working on. It's called Spoken.
Ooh.
That should be.
What a name.
Yeah, it's deep. It's really deep, but that should be ready by the end of June.
Mhm.
I've been working real hard on that. Got a couple shows coming up.
In the Chicagoland area?
Yeah.
Okay.
One most importantly is called March Madness. I'm putting together. I put together a cipher. I'm putting together a cipher series, and the first actual cipher is going to be March 24th.
Awesome.
Oh, I thought you were talking
Subterranean.
about you were gonna be at the show, the March Madness show.
Oh no!
Oh, I was like, I was
No.
gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. Okay.
No, not
Awesome.
yet. You'll see me one day. but-
Yes. No, I love that. I love the idea of a cipher because I think that is, it's something that we still do, but for real hip hop heads, that's
Yeah.
not something that we see on an everyday
And it's
basis like they
rare.
got to see in the 90s and in the 80s. So I think
It's
that's
very
really
rare
tight.
that you have a full hip hop cipher. A lot
Yeah,
of times you
yeah.
got to mix with mumble artists and the
Yeah.
drill rappers,
For
and
sure.
then you got one or two hip hop heads for real.
Yeah.
And it makes it awkward because the drill and the mumble rap somehow just crowds out the hip hop because that's what people want
Yeah,
to hear.
especially
So,
nowadays,
yeah.
definitely. And so I can tell that you have a little bit of a stance about that. And if someone was to ask what your genre of hip hop is, what would you say?
For myself,
Yeah, as an artist.
I would say I try to keep it realistic. You
Yeah.
know, like life stories, other people's life stories, emotions,
Yeah.
situations. It's really just real stuff. I don't.
So
I
it's
don't
real
gang
rap
bang.
raw.
Yeah, I don't gang bang. I don't play with guns. I mean, occasionally I smoke a little We ain't much.
Oh, okay.
Occasionally
I play with guns.
No.
Just in case y'all missed that, occasionally he smokes a little weed, not plays with guns.
Yeah, no guns.
He's
no
a father.
Guns. Yeah,
He's
no
a
guns.
father.
No guns.
Awesome. So yes, okay. So just to give a little bit of background on what this segment is. So this segment is Ask a Nigga / Ask a Man / Ask all the other names that you could think of for a black dude. And what we've done in the past is either A, we've had people on that were like extremely typical. Like we were expecting for them to come and for us to be able to easily drag them, which we did. So that happened. And then we had more people come that were pretty much the same type of typical, but gave us a couple of curveballs because they had their own little nuances and personalities, which is always nice to see and fun. But you're different than any other guest that we've had for this segment because you're like a legitimate family man. Mm-hmm. You have like an actual foundation of family, and like you're all about your woman and you're all about your children, and that is not something that we have had the pleasure of dealing with on this show. So it is going to be fun to be able to ask you some of the same questions and have them be extremely different and hopefully a lot more mature because you are actually living the life.
Exactly the same?
Yeah, it'll be like
What if the answers were exactly
Yeah,
the same?
like-
Like fuck bitches, get money. And there was no difference whatsoever.
like it'll be great.
Actually, be
so I mean, we have the leg up on him by having his woman and child actually here in the audience today, so he can't get himself in too much trouble. It would be different if he was like, "Fuck this, she's not gonna
Some
see this
niggas
till
don't care
Wednesday."
though. Some niggas still don't care.
Yeah, we'll see.
Not at
We're
all.
gonna see what's up. We're gonna see what's up. So, okay. I'm trying to think of a good landing space for us because I want to.
I don't think I'm ready.
No, yeah. Actually,
And then
yes.
I'll pour you up another
Actually,
one.
yeah. Everybody, let's just drink a little bit more. Let's just get it flowing. Let's get it flowing. I'm feeling
Had the
good.
same about
It's
his
a favorite
album.
sport of mine, drinking. So
Yeah, mine too. You know, we have a lot in common in that way.
Yeah.
Outside of the music, definitely
this-
the drinking.
yeah,
This
no,
was-
that's
That was mine. Wow.
So you're gonna
This
drink
is
that?
yours.
I'm not gonna have that.
Hennessy.
No, it's not. You know, Hennessy gives me stroke symptoms.
Stroke?
Hennessy
Strokes.
for you.
No, she does say that she
gets
feels
my
like
neck
she's
tight.
having a stroke.
No Hennessy for you.
It cracks me up.
No Hennessy for you.
Could you pass me that Jameson so that I can pour Tati a shot?
Sure.
I'm so jealous, guys. If y'all don't know, I'm fasting for Lent or whatever, and I gave up hard alcohol, so I'm drinking beer, which is I'm gonna have to like chug 3 of these fast as fuck in order to feel just a morsel of what you're feeling. Brianna, no, I'm gonna just drink out of that bottle.
Aja, so
Oh,
she
yeah.
can
Yeah.
replace hers with Jameson.
Here you go. I got you. Give it to me. So I'm thinking of a good starting place, and I think that one of the questions that we asked Tim and DJ Stutter when we had them here is actually a good place to start because you actually have a family. We all know that there's a stigma around young women and young men and how they are brought up and what their aspirations are. Like young boys are always taught to be very ambitious and like get money, you know, and young girls are kind of like inadvertently even kind of taught to find a good man and like find someone to love them and you know blah blah blah, and that's kind of where our focus tends to be sometimes, even if we don't mean for that to be our focus, like even if we are ambitious. So how do you feel like your upbringing was? Do you feel like you were pushed to be more of a professional success or to have like a family and to be a good parent and all of that stuff?
Well, my upbringing was kind of split in half. I was raised in 2 different foundations. Like one was very like structured and I want you to do this, you're supposed to do that, you know. And the other one was kind of like free will. You kind of do what you want type of thing. So, I mean, I would say that I was brought up to respect women first and foremost. And you know, start a family, create a family, take care of your family, on both sides. But it was just different aspects from this person and that person. So, you know, with my mom, she was more so, you know, be better than where you come from, be better than this, be better than that. And then when I moved with my aunt, it was like, well, you know where you come from,
Right.
and you know what you got here, so, you know, make the best out of it. And, you know, she didn't really do too much advice about relationships and stuff like that because she wasn't. Well, she's not for that. But I mean, I pretty much what I know, I kind of figured it out on my own.
Got it.
For the most part of everything, like I kind of figured it out on my own. If I didn't get it from like one of my homeboys' fathers or older brothers or something like that. So yeah, I mean, I've brought myself to want to have a family and raise children and do the right thing. But before, it was a terror. It was horrible. It was horrible, but I figured it out, and wouldn't trade it for the world now.
So
That's
this is new
good.
for you. It was a newfound feeling and desire to want to do right and have a family and all that stuff. You didn't grow up always.
Yeah, no, I didn't grow up
Idolizing
always being
that
told like
image.
this what you're supposed to do, because my
Right.
brothers, my brothers, they do their thing. I ain't gonna put them under the bus. or
They sound
anything.
great. Are they single?
Some of them.
Okay.
I got
He's
got
like, "You'll
7
always
of
be
them.
single." He's like, yeah.
I got 7 of them, so you kind of
Oh, that's a
gotta.
lot of siblings.
Yeah, you get a pick from
There's only 3 of us.
It's just a kennel.
You choose. Pick your poison.
You got another shot to take before we get to the
Oh.
next. So we're glad to see that you've grown into this man. So before you've grown into
Let's
who
go.
you are today, to your wonderful woman and your children, how would you say what is going on over there? What is happening?
I'm nervous to
Okay.
take my
I was trying to
shot.
make her take her shot.
Oh, take your time. It's okay. So you've gotten to the point where you want to be a family man. Okay, cool. You're a family guy now. Before that, have you ever cheated on a partner? And if so, why? Why? Why'd you do it?
Well, yeah, I
I
have.
just assumed that you did. Why'd you do it?
It was. I mean, then when it happened, I tried to make a million excuses as to why I did it. But at the end of the day, it was a personal choice. I felt like I was lacking something. So instead of trying to instill it in the woman or be patient and wait for it to happen, I kind of took matters into my own hands, which is typically the reason why a lot of people do it. But I'm speaking for myself, not just.
Yeah, for sure.
How old were you?
The first time?
We have
No.
a serial
Who
cheater.
just
How were you the
We
last time you cheated?
Cheater on our hands here.
How were you
Which
the last
time?
time you cheated on someone?
How old was I?
Yeah.
26.
Listen up.
Okay. How old are you today?
26.
Okay. Nice. So, let me also give you this disclaimer because you were just like, I can't speak for everyone else. You are definitely going to be the representative for all men here. So,
Okay, that's
keep that in
fine.
mind. We have a lot of ladies who were on our lines the past week who have questions, and you're going to answer them.
That's fine.
We deserve answers.
Okay.
So, okay. So, in every time that you've cheated, you felt like you were just lacking something and didn't have the patience or the
Yeah.
know-how or the communication
Pretty
to
much.
instill it in your partner or express to your partner that there was something not happening that needed to be happening.
Yeah.
Was it usually sexual?
No,
No?
it wasn't. It was never sexual. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was never too. I guess. Right, sexual. It was never that.
Mm-hmm.
It was more so like me not having an understanding of certain things, not wanting the understanding, and
Things like what?
Um,
You men do that a lot. You talk in circles.
and so. Well, I guess I'll say for lack of better words, like being in. Well, I'll give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
Being in a relationship or whatever, and you're trying to get the woman to understand a certain thing about you, a certain thing that might irritate you, a certain thing that might make you happy, and it's just like she's just not getting it. You know what I'm saying? And this is personal, not for all men.
It is though. So.
I'm telling on myself, fellas, whoever's watching this.
Right.
But
Somebody sitting next to their girlfriend like this. Don't listen to them.
But you know, just like trying to get them to understand or whatever, and it just don't work. And sometimes frustration takes you to a place where it shouldn't, and you just act out. You do things that you shouldn't, and then you regret it later, of course. But
Right.
you know,
How long does it take for the regret to sink in? Do you ever feel the regret?
Immediately.
Do you ever? Okay, that answers my question. But what I was gonna say was like, I feel like a lot of women have an issue with catching their boyfriend cheating or their man cheating in some way and feeling like you weren't sorry until you got caught.
Mhm.
You know,
It's
do you
a-
feel
it's
like
an-
there's truth to that for
it's-
you?
What, you wasn't sorry to
Like
you got
you didn't feel the remorse of it until she found out about it, and you saw the pain in her, or like did you bust the nut and was like, wow, I shouldn't have done this, or was it like weeks later your woman found out and you feel really bad now?
Well, no, it was like, well, for me, it was immediately. Like, even in doing it, it's like, you know, you shouldn't be doing this, but, you know, you feel under a lot of pressure, and sometimes pressure pushes you to do things that you really don't want to do, say, or, you know,
Yeah.
etc. So you kind of, I don't know, in that moment, it's like, well, for me, it was like, damn, this shit wrong.
So I have a question then. So in your opinion, do you believe in that theory of, I feel like people in general kind of have this idea when it comes to men that it should be expected that they cheat, or that men don't always have a real reason. Like they'll say like, oh, if a woman cheats, it's because she's actually missing something in her life.
Which
She's
is
not
bullshit.
fulfilled, or somebody's not making her happy. But they're like, when a man cheats, he's cheating because he's a man, and they'll just
It's in
fuck
your
anything
nature.
walking
So
if they
is the
feel
question,
like it.
do I feel that?
Right, like, do you
Right.
believe that no, there actually really is a reason, or do you think that men really do just, there's not
Can't
always a
control
reason?
themselves.
Like, it's really just like, I don't know, I just fucked up, I don't have a reason.
I don't know. I think. Why is that such a hard question to answer?
We've
No.
been asking it for years.
I'm about to say,
Nah.
it honestly is a hard question.
I wouldn't say it's like a I don't even think that is one sided. I don't even think that like men do things a specific way because they're men, or women do things because they're women.
Right.
I feel like at the end of the day, it's a personal issue that needs to be handled, because for whatever reason you keep doing the same thing for whatever reason, and it's more so you just have to dig deep inside and figure out what it is, and you know when you
So
find
there's
out,
always a reason.
it's always a reason. It's never just, oh, it was there, you know, unless you that type of person. Like if you that guy or that woman, it was like, oh, it was dick there, so I just did it, you know, or it was pussy there, so I just
Hashtag
did
was
it.
dick there.
You know?
That's a
So
great
it's like
hashtag.
it's always personal. It's never like
Yeah,
a general
yeah.
thing. Whatever that person is into, and a lot of times, you know, you get those people who just like don't really care. They just
So
Yeah.
you do think men can control themselves?
Yeah.
They definitely have the power and the ability to
Yeah.
control themselves. They just choose not to.
Right.
yeah.
That's
always a
which
choice
is
at the
exactly
end of
what
the
we
day.
thought.
Right.
Well, there's a point going for you, fellas. So don't try that shit next week. After you get all drunk on St. Patrick's Day, don't try it. Just don't. Aisha, do we have any questions from the ladies out in the airways?
Yeah, so one of our wordies would like to know, why do men nut in women that they don't like?
Now it's a party.
Why do men nut in women that they
Ejaculate.
don't like.
Can we say ejaculate for
Nah, nut.
the?
So she sat up from the bed and was like, so why you nutting me then? He was like, I'm gone, babe. I'm not seeing you nothing. She's like, so why did you do that? just crushed. I thought you liked me.
Oh my
I thought
god.
this meant something.
That is a hilarious ass question, but I do not know. I personally never came inside somebody that I don't like,
Okay.
so I don't know.
But define like though, Aisha. Let's define like. Like, is it like, you know, you're cool, like, especially, I have this theory, not a theory, we all know for a fact.
myself
Yeah,
another shot.
have
I'm
some,
gonna pour it for
let's
you.
have all
thank
the
you.
shots for him.
You don't trust him. I'm going to do it for you.
No, everyone knows that all of, the ratio for good men to good women is like insane, you know? So for 9 times out of 10, women are gonna be top notch to a certain extent in ways that a lot of men are just not going to be. So as a man, you come across a flock of women. They all got jobs. They all got their own house. They all got their own car. You know, they got a good head on their shoulders. maybe they got some personal stuff, but for the most part, they're not unlikable people.
Right.
So like, let's define like. Is it like this? Like, cause some people are awful. Like some girls might be like, no, you really shouldn't even put your dick in her, let alone your sperm.
Lots of them these days.
Oh yeah.
Agreed.
But like, cause I never understand the ways in which men like women, because we're just likable for the most part, especially like these days. Like a lot of us don't have terrible shit going on, or like hella baby daddies, or like, you know, like we don't have the baggage that a lot of men come with.
Whoa.
Oh,
Whoa. Cause that is
A
not
lot of
true.
women do.
That is
well,
not
I
true.
don't know.
With
I
you
have
being
a bias because I don't know those women.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely a biased statement, because with you being a woman, you're not looking for that. You don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
You looking at men, and you're interested in what
I'm
men.
looking at women too.
Okay. Okay, but you know,
but
you're
same,
more
but
so
same, but
concerned. Yeah, you're more so concerned about the guys and what they have to offer, and you know, that type of stuff. So you won't even pay attention unless like you got a guy friend and he tell you like, let me tell you about this, man.
Right.
Let me tell you about this, and that. So that's how you get your information,
All
or
the
your
Right.
friends.
And
the
even
people-
that's rare for me, because
Yeah.
even the male friends that I do have, like I have male friends telling me more of that shows their character and how they messed up than my male friends ever come to me
And
and
tell
are
you
like,
about the women.
yeah, this girl was OC, like yeah, she was wild, she did this, she did that.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I just haven't experienced that, but I don't know. I don't know what it
it
takes
gets
for a
bad.
man to like not like a woman. Like what is it that deems a woman like dateable for you? Like when you're out and you're meeting girls and you're courting women, like what makes a woman dateable to you? As opposed to, because you'll still mess with a girl, you'll still like hang around her, or like
Fuck her.
even do that. I wasn't gonna say that with the children in the room, but you know, you'll still indulge with
Right,
her
right.
to a certain extent, but you'll know in your mind pretty immediately, I believe, for most men, like yeah, but she's not the one that I'm trying to like be with. So like, what is it for you that makes that difference? Like this is a dateable person rather than just a fling.
Well, it has a lot to do with like what actually what's attractive about that person. A lot of times it's not even physical. Like, you know, you get past the physical, that's what you see first. Oh, okay, she pretty, she got a nice body, you know, she ain't sloppy, you know, her edges on fleek, you know, all that good physical stuff, that's fine or whatever, but until you get to the point where you get her to open her mouth, and then whatever comes out of her mouth when you talking to her determines a lot.
Or goes in her mouth, am I right?
I was like,
When
she said that, I was like,
I'm kidding.
But yeah, so I mean, her mindset definitely, you know, listening to what comes out of her mouth, how she carry herself, you know, after having a conversation, you have to pay attention if you're talking with her or if you just talking to her, because that means a lot too. You could have a whole lot to say and she just be like, yeah, yeah,
Word.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
You know, that type of stuff. It's like what pulls you in is a lot of times conversation, charisma, you know, all of that good stuff. Then when you get past that, you have to see what eventually, depending on how fast that takes, the actual physical, like intimate attraction that y'all
Right.
have.
So tell us about a conversation that you've had with a woman that made you be like, you're not really. What was she saying or not saying to you that made you feel like you didn't want to be with her or date her seriously?
Well, the biggest no-no is you automatically bring up your ex. Like me first meeting you for the very first time, there should be no reason why you talk about I didn't ask you about your ex.
Right.
Why are we
Why would
talking
you?
about? You know, like why? The thing is like when you automatically put out there like, I want a man, I want him to take care of me, I want this, I want that. That's a turn off, because it's like you're trying to force me to do it now versus letting me pick your brain and see if that's something that I want. Because the man is supposed to choose a woman. Woman not supposed to choose a man.
But is it forced though if she just is saying like, let's nip this shit in the bud?
Like, right
let me,
then and
let
there?
me tell you
Yeah,
what
that's
I'm looking
forced.
for, and you either do
Right
it or
then and
not.
there, in that
Well,
instant.
it's not forced if you're not gonna do it. You know.
It's kind of like she letting you know, like, don't talk to me if this
You
ain't
think
what
it's
you
too
want.
aggressive?
Yeah, like it's too much in that first interaction. It's like, let
But
me.
niggas waste women's time all the fucking time, and like a long stretches of time. So I can understand a woman get it to the point where she's like, you know what? In this dating arena,
That just sounds like
the
somebody
first
who
thing
got
I'ma
hurt
tell
way
you-
too many times.
Yeah,
And she just
I mean,
like,
and
you know
that's
what?
a lot of women.
I ain't got time for this. This is what I need. This is what I want. You with it? No.
Okay, bye.
All right, I'm gonna holler at you then. You know, I mean, for some people that may be cool, but I, you know, pace myself. Let's
So what's a good time to have that conversation then?
like the second date.
Oh, that's soon. That's good.
Like the second date, like the very first initial, hey, my name is blah blah blah. Let's exchange numbers or not, you know, and then let's link up and we'll talk about whatever. But bringing up the ex relationships, that's like unless it's ass,
Yeah.
then don't. You know, that's
Yeah.
that's a huge no.
I agree.
Got it.
Yeah, I agree
I
with
agree
that.
with that.
Okay.
1 point for me.
What is, and obviously you're in a committed relationship now, but from the mindset of your single self, what was your response, or what would have been your response to a woman who was celibate or was saving herself for marriage?
To my single self?
Yeah. No? Just a hard no? Okay.
Why?
Because I'm single, I'm not interested in a woman that's celibate. Like,
So nasty.
I'm just saying, like, no, I'm saying I respect your wishes, but for me personally,
Yeah.
I'm single. I'm trying to,
Fuck.
you know, I'm
What if
trying.
it was a woman you had always been after, like you always had a crush on her?
Then that's different. I'm making a transition from being single to wanting to be committed to somebody because I know her already. I know, you know, what she's about. Then
Right.
okay,
And then you're gonna be celibate too then.
I'm gonna try.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna be on her ass. I ain't
Take a
gonna lie.
shot. Take a shot. That was the wrong answer.
I'm gonna be on her. Like, you know, it's gonna be kind of hard to go
Go
from.
ahead. Yeah,
Okay.
but for sure. You got it.
So yeah, just drink.
Get
So
him
it depends
another.
on how much you like her.
Get him
is what
another.
you're saying. How much you were interested in her. And
Yeah,
if
like-
you would even attempt to.
And
If
then
I
if,
would
he was
attempt to do
interested,
it.
he would try. He would give her a strong
Right, a
maybe.
Yeah,
He
like
would
I'll
give her a strong maybe.
I'll sit there and
But that's all you can
participate
do.
in the celibacy world, but then there'll be a lot of times where, you know, things will happen, and then I'll try to get
Didn't we just say things didn't happen and it's always a choice?
no.
No.
Yeah.
We didn't.
I'm
I said
talking
we didn't
about.
say that.
I'm talking about.
You did this
He's
to your
getting
genitals.
drunk.
This is your junk, and you said
Yeah.
things would happen.
Things will happen,
Like
meaning
something
that
would
it'll.
fall there, and then I would have to fuck it. Now what do I do?
I'm talking about the woman. Like if we laying up. And
Oh,
we,
you might
her.
fuck
you know,
her.
yeah,
Oh,
I might
you're
be
saying that
tempted
you
to
feel
try
like you
things
would-
with her versus
Right.
go and do it with somebody else. Is what I'm saying.
Okay. Do you feel like in your circle of men, and also speaking for yourself as well, that you're afraid of communication? You don't want to over communicate or have too much information for the fear of like solidifying what this is with a woman?
No.
No, you haven't had that issue. You haven't had a woman be confused about like where she stands in your life.
Probably after the whole, like if we still together after the whole cheating situation, then
Mhm.
yeah. But before I kind of let it be known like this is mine. I don't want you to go nowhere. You know, there's no confusion as to where you stand.
So,
There's no.
okay, so you telling a woman that she belongs to you, and that you don't want her to go anywhere, for her should solidify where she stands in your life.
I mean, my actions as well, but
Right.
you know, but for the most part, like when I'm with somebody, I let them know like
Okay.
this is it. This is what we're gonna do.
So nobody's ever wondering like, is this a situationship? Like, are we together? Like, nobody's ever left to wonder. No. Good. Okay.
No,
Good
ma'am.
job. Take a shot. That was a good answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Just constant.
What are your thoughts on single men dating women with children?
How ironic.
Give him another shot.
Oh.
Give him your other Hennessy you didn't drink.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to tell me to take a shot. I was like,
I'm personally not against it seeing, you know, my current relationship.
Yeah,
You know, when I met her.
that was a trick question.
Yeah. No,
What if he was like, "Don't do it"?
No, I'm not against, you know, dating or advising my friends to date a woman with a child,
Mhm.
because I mean, I obviously, when I first met my girl, you know, she had their child or whatever. So I'm an advocate for it. Like,
Yeah.
please do it because it'll introduce you to the idea of what the role of a father actually is. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And a lot of people can't take it, so it'll determine if they stick around or not. You
Right.
know? But
That's
I
true.
would encourage, especially if you don't have any children, but most guys not gonna do it, and most women not gonna do it either. Ain't nobody got time for no baby mama, no baby daddy drama. So.
Yeah. And do you think that that's where a lot of men's fears stand with that? Like, do you think that it's the fact that they don't want to be a parent, or that they don't want to deal with like
I think
lingering
it's both.
drama?
I think it's both. They don't want to be forced because that when you meet a woman with a child, you're forced as to play that father role.
yeah.
Especially
you're gonna
if,
be serious with
yeah,
her.
you know, you're gonna be serious with the woman. You're kind of forced, but it also opens it up for you to understand what true responsibility is. You know.
Mhm.
So it's definitely different, but I would definitely advise my friends that it's a if you do come across.
Right. Don't go looking.
Yeah, don't go looking for
single moms.
Right.
Like I got one.
Right.
I have a question from one of our wordies.
Ooh, wordy.
Why do men tell women that they love them but won't commit?
Why do
Men.
men tell women that they love them but won't commit? That's not what you said?
No, I was saying no to her. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know, cause that's kind of foolish, because you opening up a door for a woman, you know what I'm saying, to release her emotions, and you're not taking her serious.
Damn it.
So that's kind of hard.
I'm sorry. No, it's fine. Usually I can do it with my teeth, with like Heineken bottles, but these are different.
Use opener to enjoy.
That's
what the top says.
My teeth are great, guys. They're really strong. I'm sorry. They shouldn't do that because.
But there are different types of love. So that depends as well. Because you can have love for a person, like, and you can be one of those people, you catch a hippie type of dude that
Or
like
Brianna,
that just like
who
loves
gets cursed out all the
everybody,
time for that.
just loves the world and genuinely has love in their
Yeah.
heart for any compassionate person. They could be like, no, like I really like you.
I
care
ain't
for
talking
you.
about
I
those
love
people.
you.
I'm talking about the niggas who do things.
That'll be
that-
like, I'm in love with you.
yeah, I love you, but I don't want to be in a relationship right now.
I did that to my ex-boyfriend, and I didn't understand at the time what was shitty about it. But that's another thing too. Like, I think that it's the responsibility of each person to understand who it. Like, try to gain an understanding of who it is that you're dealing with.
Yeah,
Because
that's definitely
if
true.
if he knew the type of person that I was, me saying I love you in the midst of us breaking up, you wouldn't like latch onto that so tightly, because you know for a fact that I don't want to be with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be with you, and me saying I love you is like is me. Thank you so much. It's me indulging in the human, like, my love is me indulging in the human experience.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, but yeah, no, niggas.
Cause you know
I'm
niggas
talking
like
about
to,
niggas do be different.
niggas like to
Y'all
do
slanging
shit
this
and
I'm
accept
sorry.
shit
around so
from a
strong.
woman. Like, a woman will like really help a man get on his feet, and then he'll do something he ain't had no business doing, and then throw it up in her face like, but we not together though. And that just gets you punched in the
See,
face.
but that just lets that. Well, it's not our floor. It's GQ's floor. We'll talk about it later. We'll tell y'all.
No,
later.
because I'm tired. No.
I feel like everybody has to be responsible for themselves.
That's
to
what I'm
some
saying.
extent.
You gotta-
to some extent.
You gotta.
Yeah,
just
no, that's
understand
I
what's
definitely
going on.
agree with that.
You just gotta have an understanding. Like, you gotta read. Like,
You have to know-
You have to read the signs. You
Yeah,
have to read
a lot
the
of people
situation.
want to be in denial. They don't like ignorance is bliss. That's
They
the
like
AIDS
people like
commercial.
you.
That's the best
Ignorance
way
is
to.
bliss.
Ignorance is bliss. That's why being woke is so hard.
Yeah,
It really is. That's
why I
not what
take
we're talking
naps
about, though.
frequently.
What?
Give me another word. Give me another question from our. Oh, I have a question from our wordies. I have a question from 3 separate wordies, and I was like, "Wow, guys, you guys are real interested this
It's
week."
all the same question.
Yeah, basically, it's along the same lines of the same thing, and they want to know, why is it that specifically in the community of black men that anal play is such a no thing?
I don't know.
Why does it make men so uncomfortable?
He's like, we
I
talk about
don't-
this all the time.
I don't know. Like, I think it's more so like a pride / like ego thing. Like,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people hold on to the origin of anal. It originally, in some people's minds, come from men in jail. So it's like
Right.
when it's being introduced in your relationship or in the bedroom or whatever, it's like, hell no.
Right.
Fuck would I do that for? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But at the end of the day, it's like, if you have to remember to think for yourself. Don't just latch on to the thoughts of other people.
Yes.
You know, and if genuinely it's something that you're not opposed to, then don't comment on it as far as being opposed. But if it's something that you might want to try, just
So be
sit back.
true. That's so.
Just be honest with yourself. A lot
Yeah.
of times it's because that's what everybody else in the room is saying. Like,
Right.
Like
Right.
I've been in plenty of positions where I was,
Me too.
you know, hanging around.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Hanging around with some people and anal came about versus it was actually entering or just like licking it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They was just having a conversation. Oh, I ain't with that. I ain't nobody touching my ass. Ooh, I ain't touching no girl. Blah blah blah. And I'm
Yeah.
just
Yes,
like,
y'all are.
Yeah. No, it makes me really sad. Like when men are so sad for real, because men don't understand that you're never gonna get your peak orgasm unless you play with it. You have to. You just have to.
some things you have to, you know, venture off into to say you don't like it. Like you
Right.
can't say that you don't
That
like
too.
something you ain't never tried.
Yeah. I was gonna go into this long thing about
I
it.
do that a lot.
But
Not about sexual things, but I always say I don't
Just
like
like in a
stuff that I
general
haven't
sense.
had. Yeah,
but just like I don't like that. I used to be like that when I was little, but you know, you grow up and you
But
start to be
I'm
like
grown up, so
yeah.
try it.
Like, you just gotta, no, but so many women wanted to know about ass play, and I was just like, yeah. But I think that we are getting to a time where it's becoming more open, and just like the former conversation that we were having, it is a bias because of the people that you hang around. And I like all of our men to be a little gay, so I think that everybody I know indulges.
That's
But,
why
The way
they be
you
scared
said
of it, because the way you said it
The
like
way you
that,
said it,
that
like-
makes it be like, well,
It
so
kinda
they're gonna be
takes
like,
away
well, I'm
from
no
the
gay,
thought.
so
Right.
yeah.
But I have my reasons for saying it the way that I say it, and the people who I talk about who I like describe as that, they completely understand what that means, and it has nothing to do with sexuality at all. But anyhow,
I have a fun question from one of our wordies. She
like the
wants
last one
to
was
know,
so fun.
when you're taking a shit, does your dick touch the water? And if so, that's nasty.
So not only is she asking, she's
So
gonna
it's a
judge.
question?
She's gonna prejudge me. That's nasty. I love this girl.
That's funny as hell.
Whoever she is. Does that happen to you?
From time to time. yeah.
I'm like, what could you do to change that? I guess you could sit with your legs closed and have it like sit on your lap.
But that's weird though, because eventually while you taking the shit, you're gonna have to piss. So it's like,
So you do both at the same time?
Yeah, it's mandatory.
Oh.
Like if you don't, then you're not human. You're not like.
Oh.
It's weird if you don't. So it's like when you just sitting there, you shit is automatically gonna drop unless you shit like with your legs, like a little prissy little motherfucker.
Prim and
Like,
proper. Like,
yeah, no. You feel me? You gotta get ready. You gotta chill, and it's automatically gonna drop.
And so you just let it happen, and you're just like, you know what?
Once you're done, it's like, what do you do?
You gotta wash it, right? Just
I
spin
mean,
it
a lot
toilet
of
water.
times when you take a shit that long, of course you're gonna want to get in the shower. You getting your day started, you gonna about your business. But if you sleep,
You should
have
be having
sleeping,
a couple bowel movements a day, though.
yeah, but not all the time it happens.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
it usually happens when it's first in the morning. And
first thing in the AM.
yeah, first in the morning.
But don't you usually have an erection in the morning? So how does that
Yeah,
work?
But
That's why you said
it's
it
not
happens
it's
in
not
the
a
morning.
hard
But
erection.
if it's
like
up,
a
then
slight.
how's it in the toilet?
It's slight. Just because it's erect doesn't mean it's sitting up. It could still sit down, but be like full of width, and you know, it's just like hanging. It's not like fully erect. It's just,
I gotcha.
yeah. So sometimes it happens.
She knows
sometimes
all about
happens.
it.
I get it.
Safari is gross. I don't want to talk
All right,
about Safari.
all right.
No, I'm
That's
like,
what
don't
I'm gonna
do
do.
that.
Can I get another shot, please?
Oh,
Because I like
she's
him.
slipping over
Thank you,
there.
thank you.
Oh, you're doing great.
Hi.
Anyhow, oh my God, I want to talk so much more just about dicks and toilets now. Oh, somebody did want to know. Have you ever, because I feel like boys have just like an experimental phase, right? When they start to realize like that they have a dick, like the size of their dick. Have you ever attempted to put the tip of your penis in your asshole? Just like as an experiment, you know, just to see
You
how
are-
far it would go.
Why?
No,
Next question.
no, so I mean,
That's
That's a wild
ridiculous.
experiment.
just I like little boys fascinate me. Like, have you ever just seen a little like little? I feel like that's definitely something that a child tries, or like I don't know. No,
Like-
talk about no. Nobody's kids.
Why would somebody even want? You know what?
Okay,
it
so
is
now-
some freaky ass people in this world, so I'm pretty sure somebody done tried it, but
Do you do penis stuff from the back though? Like, do you tuck your penis back and do stuff with it ever?
You're answering the same question.
Just ever.
No,
just in
not-
life. You
I
ever
asked if
just
he ever
tuck your
puts his
penis?
dick in his ass, but you can also just tuck your dick to the back and have someone suck it.
Oh.
Or you could fuck someone from that angle. I hear.
I get what you're saying.
I've heard. I don't know. No.
I get what you're saying.
So you just your dick is always frontward, is what you're saying. You don't tuck it.
I would laugh so hard if it was like if I was ever in that situation and a dude like tucked his dick and was like, "Come on, like we're gonna do something new." Like I would be like,
like he trying to force his dick to the back so you can.
That's
Like,
what my guess
You know
said
how
Friday
you know
after
how
that.
girls
It's a
you know
little
how
weird.
in porn with two girls they would do like the double-sided dildo. Like maybe you can do that with your partner with your dick tucked to the back. No. Anyway,
Man, if you're interested in dating Brianna,
No.
please understand that these are some of the things she's
You're
wants to
gonna
try.
have to
that's
try
what I want.
to you're gonna have to try to put your dick to the back.
no, I don't want that. But I mean, I
I'm
don't
not
know.
judging you if you do.
No, I'm not judging if that's what happens. I'm curious about what boys do with their dicks.
Oh, this is a good question. Why do men want to make a mother out of a woman before a wife? Because I was a mama for 2 years. And I gave my child up for adoption.
That's not true, and that's not funny.
I was a mom for 2 years in my last relationship.
You had a dog.
No, I had a nigga.
she's saying he was her son.
Yeah.
She's calling him
And I
her
gave
son.
him up for adoption.
That was good.
Somebody else take care of his ass.
I don't think it's a want though. I think it just happens. Like you can try to like do things the right way, but a lot of times, you know, the mother part comes first.
But that's for people with sanity like you. I've heard a lot of times about niggas who are just
Yeah.
very interested in having a baby mama.
Yeah.
Like just
or interested
very-
in having kids. Like men, I have friends that will think about like, dang, like I think I really want a shorty. I would love to have
Yeah,
a
just
son.
like a
but
little
they're
pocket
not
thing.
thinking
Like
about
a
that
little-
in connection with marriage. Like they don't be thinking like, I would really like to have a wife right now. Like they'll see
just
other
want
people
a
with kids and they're just like, that would be so cool if I had my little son riding with me. Like they just think of having a child necessarily. They don't really necessarily think of like a relationship, a wife. And just be like, oh well, that'll come later.
I read that question as if the man was making his girlfriend out to be his mom because she was taking care of him.
Oh.
See, because that's what I be
Twist.
dealing with. Because,
Niggas that want another mama,
yeah.
basically.
Because they always been spoiled, so you gotta, like, they want to continue to be spoiled, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like spoiled, and I think that this keeps coming up in my life because I keep having this conversation with my mom about me and my brother, and like spoiledness, and specifically in the black community, because I don't know any white people like this, but spoiledness for a girl translates very differently as an adult than it does for men. Like men stay babies. Like if their mother babied them, they stay babies, and it's an interesting thing. What is your experience with that? Are you a baby?
Are you
Oh, baby.
No.
I'm far
Were
from.
you spoiled?
Were you spoiled?
Hold on, his woman said no.
I'm gonna say-
She said he's
I'm
far
not-
from a child. Go
I'm
ahead,
not-
girl.
Oh, okay. Oh, she said no, like no, he's not a baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
she
that's
said
good.
nah.
That's good.
I mean,
Were you spoiled? Right.
I wasn't spoiled from my mama. I was
Okay.
spoiled from my auntie financially.
That
Like,
counts though.
whatever I wanted or needed, she would get it from me. But like my mama, on the other hand, she'd be like, "Well, I ain't got it, so I'm forced to go get it now. Oh,
Right.
you ain't got it to give it to me. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna get it.
Right.
You know, I've never been like,
my aunt.
yeah, I've never been like spoiled. Even though my auntie might argue, but
Right. But I think that that's a different situation too, because the connection that people and I like, there's something really even children that I know who had like their parents like pass away or their parents like leave for whatever reason at an early age, and so they were raised by their grandparents or raised by their aunts, it's still a different. It's just not going to be the same as your mom.
Right.
Like, it's just a different thing. Like, you have a different connection with your mother in a general sense. So, like, if your mother isn't the one doing the, oh, baby, I'll go get it, then your experience is going to be extremely different from young men who have, like, my brother is 30. And the way that my mama acts, like, I just be like, mind you, I'm 4 years younger, like, I don't know. It's not that my brother isn't independent, but I'm far more independent than he is, like, in a general sense. I don't even think to ask my mom for some of the shit that my brother asks. But
My mama was more so like,
no, he knows not to watch this because I talk about my pussy so much.
Oh, so he gonna beat you up one day.
yeah, my mama was more so like, you better go get it.
You
'cause
better
I ain't
figure it
got
out, yeah.
Or
And I honor
she
that.
made us cook for the family. Like, she
Yeah.
would sit in her bed and tell us what to do.
See?
And made us
My
cook.
brother had to cook for us. I probably would be smaller.
From not wanting to
time.
eat it? From not wanting to eat?
Yeah. Maybe that is a good thing.
Anyway. So, you have girls, right?
A house full of them.
Do you a house full? Do you feel like in the event that y'all continue to have kids, I'm looking at mom. Okay, yay,
Alright.
she's on board. Dad isn't on board, but
Okay.
he's saying now.
That's like
You know how to extract that juice from him.
anything
It's not,
after this conversation.
it's not up to him.
Anything after this conversation is rape.
So you're not huge on the whole needing a boy.
Right.
I
That's
would
what
like
was
to.
getting at.
I would, cause this one here, she's trying to basically suck them out of me.
Oh, good.
But
Go, Mom.
it's like I'm
Go,
not.
Mom.
I would like to have a boy,
Yeah,
but
of course.
I'm okay where I am now.
Right.
I'm cool with all girls.
You're like, the house is pretty lively as
it is, cause you add a boy to that.
Oh, it's crunk.
Every
even imagine.
Every day is lit.
Yeah.
You add a boy to a house full of females. It's lit.
Yeah.
Cool. I was going to ask a follow-up question, but I don't think it applies because you're not even that into it. So, never mind. I'm getting a little tipsy, guys. You guys
Are
take
you
over.
kidding
You two
me?
take over.
Let's see. Let me go back to what some of our wordies were saying.
One of the questions said, this is anonymous, right?
Okay, this is actually a really good question. Why do men never respond to the whole text?
Because we find the one thing that stands out to us and we respond to that shit. Like
It's so funny how you had a legitimate
whole-
answer ready. Like,
a whole passage of being cursed out and you just say, you know what, you right, I should take the garbage out more than what I do. And you got like a whole conversation of just being cursed out and you just find something you want to respond to.
You just find something. But
Or you
that
could just
response-
generalize the response. Like
That response
Get him
sounded
another shot.
better to actually answer
Aja.
to a specific
Get him
thing I
another
said
shot.
versus how some men you could send that whole
He'll
passage
be like, "True."
and they'll reply with them, alright. And you be like,
Okay.
like what? But like
I
at
wish
least
somebody
you
would
said
eye me.
you're actually
Alright.
responding to something that the
yeah,
woman
you got
said.
it. Well, it depends. Like if you got sitting there having a whole conversation through text message, you're not gonna retain a lot because you just reading to respond. You're not reading to understand. You're reading to respond. So you find something that stands out to you and you respond to it.
No, I don't know. I'm kind of against us continuously like lowering the bar for men. Like at least he responded to something. Like no. It's literally right there for you to continuously like you can type it. You can be like, hold on, what she say about that? It's right there. Like you don't have to be like, what did you say that? Like what did you say before this sentence and after the next one? Like you could just look at it
I don't know, I'm
and
a
be
texter,
like,
though.
let me
I'll text
make
a
sure
whole
that she
story.
understands that I understand where she's coming from on all of these points. But you like. Garbage, got it. Like, you know what? I got you on Tuesday, Ma. Don't even front. She know me like, she's pissed. She's
Right,
still
right.
pissed, regardless. You know that, right?
I'm a texter
sure you
though,
know
so
that.
I'll send a whole fucking.
That's good. I would
book
rather
back.
that. I would
But
definitely
if it's
prefer
too
that.
much, I'll just listen. That motherfucking text
Yeah,
message
for
was too
sure.
much
That's
to
fine.
listen, to read to, or respond to.
Yeah.
So let's just, you feel me? We can
Hash this
hash
out.
it out right here on the phone. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? But I will send a pass.
Good answer. Take a shot. There you go.
I have a
Gotcha.
question. Why do men avoid communicating like that they're not interested versus just kind of So if they're not interested in a woman, they'll either A, continue on talking to the woman with no intentions of taking it anything further than that, or they'll just go ghost and disappear. Why do men do that?
Why does it happen?
Answer
Well,
now.
Answer now. Well, the going ghost part is just so you could just delete the whole situation.
But they always
as a
come
whole.
back though.
Well, I'm sorry.
If you gonna go ghost, be a ghost.
I'm
dead.
Yeah, I mean, if you go, if
Die for real.
to go ghost is just pretty much eliminating the situation as a whole. It's like that's too much to deal with. I'm
Right.
not even going. Cool. She'll text me, I ignore it. She'll call me, I'll ignore it. Whatever. But like,
But y'all always end up hitting us back up eventually though.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. That's not
I ain't sorry.
I don't know what to tell you about the guys that end up hitting you back up. But
Right, y'all confused.
you know,
Yeah,
it's, at the
I mean,
end of the day, the ball is
I
in
know.
your court. Then, like, okay,
Exactly.
so we do a lot of blaming on each side.
Definitely.
So in that situation, if you were feeling that type of way and somebody was doing something that you responded back after the fool shit. So at the end of the day, the ball was in your court at that point. You could have cut it off. You could have cursed his ass out. You could have
I like that.
blocked him, whatever.
That's why
but
blocking people is
it's
such
still
an amazing
the ball is
technology.
put back in your court.
Right.
So you can't blame him anymore. Now
Yeah.
it's a group thing. It's you should have nipped it. You'd have nipped
Yes.
it. So now
Okay,
y'all
good.
fucked
Good
up.
Yes.
answer. Good answer. Take a
But
shot.
I do think
That's
good
my
answer,
favorite
yeah,
thing
good
you
answer.
said
Take a shot.
today.
But I do think that there's something to say too about the ability to have adult conversations.
Right. 'Cause that
But I
is
don't.
hard
I don't
for some
think.
people.
Yeah, and I think that everybody is to blame for the lack of being able to do that though, because we are brought up in a society that basically coaxes everyone through everything. Like nobody wants anybody to have their feelings hurt. When in all actuality, the everyday rejection shouldn't hurt our feelings.
And I
we
think
should just be okay. Like I should be able to be talking to a dude for 2 weeks, and I should be completely like my ego should be completely woundless from him coming to me and saying, you know what, this past 2 weeks I've been able to really see like I'm really not interested in you in a romantic way. I'm really not interested in you in any kind of way.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to continue to reach out to you. I should be able to be thankful and grateful for that rather than
For the
like
opportunity.
taking it so personal. Like we take everything so fucking personally, and that's why people don't want to even
But see,
bother having
I think
conversations.
that
like
I think that a lot of women don't, but men are afraid that we do because women have
the stigma of being so
sensitive.
sensitive.
Emotional.
But we're not as sensitive. Men are way more sensitive than women. Let's
Definitely.
just say that.
What?
Yes.
It just shows itself in
not
different
even,
ways.
Yes, I
It's
don't even
not-
think it's sensitivity. I think that it's a lack of empathy for emotions. Like they don't know how to empathize for other people's emotions
What
or
she
their
said.
own. So therefore, when they occur, they don't fucking know what to do. They're just
It's like for guys, it's like to be like, I don't give a fuck about nothing. Fuck these bitches. Fuck, I'm getting money. Blah blah. That's typically the standard to
Right.
a guy's emotions. So when you come across a guy that's overly emotional, it's like y'all be like, oh, that nigga acting light skinned.
and they have to fucking
Blah,
stop
blah,
doing
blah,
it. And
blah.
women have to stop
Ooh,
doing
ooh.
that.
And in reality, it's just that guy was raised by people who let him think that it was okay for him to be emotional. Express yourself. Tell people how you feel.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he wasn't able to cap it. Like he don't know how to cut it off. It's like this is me. This is the only me.
Or there
and-
is a cap, and women still shame men for doing
Yeah,
that, and
yeah.
they shouldn't.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're all human, and all humans were instilled.
Too much
with
information
emotions,
is better
you
than
feel me?
none.
So
I would much rather have somebody come to me crying and acting a fool, and then at least I can process that afterwards. Like, wow, okay, this is how this nigga really felt, and I can either do with it this or this, rather than we've been fucking around for 4 months and I don't know what this is.
Right.
He doesn't tell me anything.
Yeah.
I'm just like continuously ended up with my legs up every Friday night, but who knows? Who knows if we'll be married soon? I'm sorry. Shook her up. She didn't like that. But
close your eyes.
Yeah.
anyway.
So one more question from me.
Yeah.
Oh, why the fuck y'all be acting stupid?
Why the fuck y'all be acting stupid?
We need real answers. So I guess what that word he was trying to say is when we
Why
ask
y'all
y'all
be
something,
acting
why do y'all act dumb and
Uh-huh.
not give us like the real answers? I guess that kind of piggybacks off of what we was kind of just talking about, like being afraid to hurt people's feelings, maybe.
Probably. But also,
don't know.
I
I
think
think-
a lot of people really do be stupid. But also, like, I was just having a conversation with my best friend who lives in Georgia, and she was talking about how, she's like, I don't like to say this because it sounds wild. She's like, but I think that they're kind of slow. Like, but not because they're slow, but because of a lack of exposure. And I think that does something to someone's character too. And I think that's something that we can say about a lot of different men. Like, they just don't know how to do things, to say stuff.
That's real.
You agree?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I've been proven
I agree.
by a man himself.
I definitely agree, because it becomes a time where, you know, guys don't necessarily know what to say, when to say it, how sensitive to be in that moment, you know, stuff like that. It's really just, and it's crazy because we just had this conversation, meaning me and Courtney. We just had this conversation not too long ago, and we was just talking about, you know,
She
people.
wasn't cussing you out, was she?
No, we don't do too much cursing out. We communicate.
Good. I know that's right.
But I say that to say that
And
we
that,
just
and
had
that's why she's trying to suck him out you.
we had a conversation about people getting to know the individual versus generalizing. Like,
Oh my God.
a woman wanting to be a woman for a man versus a woman wanting to be the woman for that man.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's,
Wow.
you kind of got to
Good
take
word.
away from generalizing things and really get to know who you're dealing with. Once you get that down pat, arguments will cease. Unnecessary misunderstanding will cease.
Yeah.
Everything will just fall in play because you getting to know that person. You won't do certain shit. Like, I know she not gonna like this, so I'm not gonna do it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? I know
right.
he not gonna like this, or I know he will, or she will like this.
Right.
So I'm gonna do this, or I won't. You know what I'm saying? It gets different when you know the person individually.
Yes.
And a lot of people in relationships try to be general for that sex. Like, oh, I'm a
Yeah.
man, I'm gonna be the best man for a woman. No,
Right.
I'm gonna be the best man for that woman. You know what I'm saying? That's how you gotta think
Good.
in
Good
those
answer.
That was
situations.
a perfect way
Good
to end
answer.
it.
Take a shot.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take two.
This is a
Oh shit.
yeah, definitely. So just for the sake of being fair, do you have any questions for us? Because we'll be the representative for women. If you have one question.
I got one question.
One.
I got one question.
Like, rephrase that. One.
You have one question if you want to
One.
ask.
Hold on, wait. Let me
Before we
take my
cap
shot.
this out, yeah, take your shot. Go ahead.
Why is it that?
He's prepared.
Yeah. Why is it that in most general debates, conversations, whichever you choose to use, that it's always men versus women? Why can't it ever be like a broad thing, like a team type of thing? Why does it have to be, why do niggas do this? Because the second that men turn it into why do women do this, it's, nah, y'all ain't got it. Yeah, it's always, y'all get defensive,
You're
y'all
right.
say this, y'all say that. But why can't it just be like this, like a real talk group conversation versus this side shaming and bashing that side?
Yeah.
When will y'all ever let it go?
That was a real question. When y'all gonna let that
When
shit
will
go?
y'all ever let it go?
Because
Because in reality,
it was really.
in reality,
when
it's
y'all
like
got
it's
over it.
always women blaming men,
Uh-huh.
and it's never women taking responsibility for the shit that they do.
Definitely.
So why is
I
that?
agree. I agree wholeheartedly. And the reason why Ask a Nigga was invented was no, it was. Ask a Nigga doesn't exist anyone else. We invented this. But the reason why it was invented was for exactly that, to showcase that. Unfortunately, we haven't had anyone of your stature who can actually communicate those things and talk in a way that makes sense.
So can we have an ask a woman? Or
Absolutely,
ask a-
I would love that. I would love to get.
Can I come back for that?
Yeah, you
I'm
know
with
what?
that.
You know what I asked you to do for season 2? For season 2, let's have you recruit 2 other guys.
Ooh,
Let's
that's
do
gonna
it
be
3 weeks
fun.
in a row. Let's do it 3 weeks in a row. You and 2 other guys, y'all coming through me, y'all coming through Aja, y'all coming through Tati, and all of us, or whoever one of us decides to be the spokesperson, which will
I'm with
obviously
that.
be me because I always have a lot to say. But I think that it's important that we have conversations like these, and of course we scope it in a way like, in an ironic way, in that is telling of reality, which the reality is we do that. We do blame men, and we do shame men, and we do, but y'all do it too.
Yeah,
you
no,
know.
I'm not saying
But,
that it's
no, I know, and
one-sided.
that's why it's
just typically women love shaming.
yeah,
men.
because but I think in a general sense, in a realistic sense, I think that we're a product of our environment.
Yeah,
I think
'cause
that
that's- y'all get it
regardless
from the generation
of
before.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, like regardless of how you were brought up in your household, all of us, especially black women, were exposed to some form or another of niggas ain't shit.
Yeah.
No matter
that's
what,
definitely
whether
true.
it was between your actual parents, whether it was between like your uncles, like your family, all of us have some sort of experience with
Right.
the niggas ain't shit narrative.
And I would say, like, I think our generation is more so like we know more now that we have to build our black men up. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like we are more into like knowing our history and our culture, and we know that like we came from, you know,
Royalty.
yeah. So we know that we have to instill that in men a lot more than like the generation
and boys,
before.
because it's much easier to what does he say, Frederick Douglass? There's a quote that he says. He says it's easier to build a man than to repair a man. Build a boy into a man than to repair a broken man. So you start when you're young and you talk.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna deal with her. But no, thank you for that question, and I'm totally open to us doing that.
I'm with
and
that.
This is as good a time as ever to go ahead and wrap up. GQ, tell people how they can find you.
You can find me on all social media sites at GQ the Fool. Might have to add an underscore on Instagram.
Yeah, it'll pop up.
And Snap, but GQ the Fool everywhere.
Everywhere.
YouTube, SoundCloud,
Yes.
Audio Mac.
Yes.
Really soon to be iTunes and Apple Music
Yes.
and all that stuff. It's coming.
Yes.
It's coming. But
Yes.
GQ the Fool everything.
Make sure you look out and stay tuned for that, of course. And you can always do what you've always done, which is follow us on all the places to be followed. You can follow us on Instagram, Twit, Tumblr, Facebook, and right here on YouTube at A Way With Words, the podcast. So make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. You can follow me at Bree.stories on Instagram and Bree_stories on Twit, at A-Tati on Instagram, and at Hey Tati on Twit, and at Ajano Asia, everywhere. Yes, everywhere. Thank you so much for tuning in. Everybody say bye.
Bye.